Ready? Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors for September 11th, 2018 to order. Madam Clerk, would you take the roll, please?
Good morning, Supervisor Cerna.
Here.
Kennedy. Here. Frost. Here. Natoli.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
And you have a quorum. This meeting of the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the Local Government Affairs channel on the Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T UVerse cable systems. The meeting is closed caption and is webcast at sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will be repeated Friday, September 14th at 6 p.m. on Channel 14. A DVD copy is available for checkout from any local library branch. Members of the audience wishing to address the board may fill out a speaker slip and hand it to staff. When the chair calls your name, please come to the podium. Also, please silence your electronic devices at this time.
Would everyone stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Okay, for your consent matters, items 1 through 64. Item 13, you are introducing an ordinance. Introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 4.6, Title 4, Section 4.672 of the Sacramento County Code relating to general business license fees for veterans. You're waiving reading and continuing to September 25th for adoption. For item 23, there is a request to hold this item to 2 p.m. That's approve the Environmental Management Department Program Records Repository Retention and Destruction Policy. For item 46, you are also introducing this ordinance, repealing and reenacting county fire codes contained in Chapter 17.4, waiving reading and continuing to September 25th for adoption. For item 47, you're adopting an ordinance. This is the Antelope Public Facilities Financing Plan Development Impact Fee Program update. The ordinance of Chapter 16.8 of the Sacramento County Code for the Antelope Public Facilities Financing Plan 2018 update. And then for item 53, you're acting as a Sacramento County Water Agency, and you're also adopting an ordinance amending Chapter 3.2 and Chapter 3.5 of Title 3 of the Sacramento County Code, Sacramento County Water Agency Code, increasing water services fees. And that concludes my notes for the clerk's notes.
Okay. Board members have any comments? No? Mr. Cerna?
Great, thank you. I'd like to have the clerk read item 9, please.
I'm sorry, repeat the item.
Item number 9.
9, thank you.
Item number 9, retroactive authority to accept a $100,000 grant from HealthNet Incorporated for Community and Child Trauma Service Program.
So I just wanted to take the opportunity to extend my sincere thanks to a number of folks that made this grant possible, and these are all individuals I know join me in looking forward to the work that we're going to use these resources towards to plan and look at the prospect of training for adverse childhood experiences and survey instruments associated with the principle of trauma-informed care and different aspects of service delivery here in Sacramento County. I first and foremost want to thank Kelly Todd with HealthNet. She and I have been discussing the opportunity to do this for a number of months. I don't think she's here, but she might watch the broadcast later, but I certainly want to extend my thanks to Kelly and HealthNet. And I know that both Chief Seal with our probation department is in the audience, as well as Michelle K.S. with Child Protective Services, and they both may want to come down and say a few words about this opportunity, as we have, as recently as yesterday, along with Bruce Wagstaff, brainstormed already what we think we might be able to achieve with this unique grant opportunity.
Thank you. Mr. Natoli? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to speak, Mr. Seal?
Sure. We just take this opportunity, Chief Seal, on behalf of the Probation Department, along with my colleague, Michelle Calles from Child Welfare. I just want to say on behalf of the two of us that we're excited to engage in this work. The research is compelling that adverse childhood experiences, what we call trauma, have really long-term health consequences, consequences for the community, and consequences for the criminal justice work. And importantly, the research also shows that interventions work, that there are things we can do to engage, particularly with young people, but youth and adults alike, that will bend that curve and change those outcomes going into the future. So we undertake this work with great enthusiasm, and we thank the board in advance for its support of this.
Yes.
Good morning, Michelle Callejas, Department of Child, Family, and Adult Services, and I think Chief Seal said it most eloquently, and I'm excited to be part of this work. As you all know, that the children and families that we serve within Child Protective Services and Senior and Adult Services have experienced multiple traumas throughout their life, and we have an ability to come together as a community and get folks trained on how to address trauma up front and hopefully increase well-being within our community. So I welcome the opportunity.
Thank you. And Mr. Wagstaff, I don't know if you wanted to say anything at all.
Well, Supervisor, thank you. I think I would just echo what both Lee and Michelle said. This is an important opportunity for us to expand on the work that we're doing, working with our stakeholders. As Lee said, the research is very clear on the need for this work, and we're excited to have this grant and get going.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. Natoli.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I did want to just call out item number 12, if we could, Madam Clerk.
Item number 12, Department of Human Assistance request for relief of accountability for cash losses in the amount of $46,670.54 due to fraudulent checks.
Yes, I spoke with the county executive in my briefing yesterday, and I do think that the staff report ought to have some supplementary information about what we actually did to try to recover these losses before we write them off. I know that this board was informed, and may have even been in a previous staff report, Mr. Gill, but if one picks this up, it doesn't be size just a brief comment that we investigated and attempted. I think there should be some description behind that, because we made a pretty extensive attempt to recover these, and again, we were, again, defrauded, and there's quite a story behind it. But I would ask that that be attached to this item, so for future reference, people would know that we went to pretty great extent to try to recover these dollars, which are...
We'll prepare that and submit it to the clerk to be added to the records.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you. As for me, I'd like to let the record reflect a recusal on item 36, 48, and 59 due to potential conflict of interest. Okay.
Madam Chair, I had one clarification I needed to make on item number 11. Ms. Clerk, can you read that into the record?
Item number 11, approve a 15-month contract extension with KP LLC to continue providing CUPS print, mail, and paperless billing services from October 1 through December 31, 2019 in the amount of $750,000.
We did send out an email clarifying this, but I wanted the record to reflect, even though we're asking for a contract till December 31st, 2019, it is our intent to have a new RFP out within the next couple of weeks. And once the process is complete, be back to the board to award a new contract. The length that we have in here is that we're trying to, if there's a change, we need some time to make the changes we need. That's why the December 31st, 2019 date is in there, but our intent is wholly to be back to the board with the process completed so that we can have this issue behind us.
Okay, any questions? That was a motion?
No,
Or
I
it was
have
a
a question, yeah.
Okay.
So that means, what's the expectation of an RFQ going out?
RFP should be out in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there are no further questions, is there a motion for the consent item, for the consent calendar? Please vote.
Unanimous vote, and let the record reflect that this excludes item 23 and also items 36, 48, and 59 due to a potential conflict of interest for Supervisor Peters.
Did you say 48 or 40?
36, 48, and 49.
59.
For clarification, it doesn't
59.
exclude them. You said it excludes them. It does
Okay.
not exclude them. It just
Those items
Chair.
are
Recused.
recused.
recused, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, at this moment, I'd like to introduce our new airport director. She came in from Portland, and I understand will be arriving towards the end of October. So Cynthia Nickel.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I am very much looking forward to working with you all. As airport director, I'll set the vision for where we take the airports from here, informed by building strong relationships with county leadership, the community, and airport stakeholders. I'm going to identify the key initiatives we need to focus on, and I'll work hard to further develop and empower staff. So, thank you all in advance for your input and support. I look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you for coming today. We're happy to have you here, and we'll look forward to hearing your initiatives when you get here.
Great, thanks very much.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Madam Clerk?
Item 65 is the presentation of State Senate resolution by Senator Ted Gaines to the County of Sacramento recognizing the 100th anniversary of Mather Airport on September 18th, 2018.
So just the board, I'm going to accept the resolution, then have everyone come down for a picture. Welcome, Ted.
Yeah, thank you so much for this opportunity to present to you today recognition of the 100th anniversary of Mather Airport. And I'd be remiss not to mention 9/11 and the challenges that we had 17 years ago in America under siege, and our first responders ran toward the fire and toward the damage that was occurring, the death, along with our military under siege in the Pentagon and Flight 93. Where we had common everyday Americans stepping up to fight. And so we will never forget that day. And we are here at that very anniversary recognizing Mather Airport, which was founded as a result of World War I. And it was initially called Mills Field. And closely thereafter, just a few days later, it was changed to Mather Field, and that was as a result of a young U.S. Army Signal Corps pilot killed in a mid-air collision while training in Texas early in 1918. And you've done such a wonderful job with your air show, starting in 2006 with over 100,000 spectators, and continue to do that. And we thank you for presenting that to our region and our community. And it just has such a wonderful history. It was interesting that Mather Field was actually closed down in 1923 after World War I, and then opened back up for World War II for training, flight training and aviation and navigator individuals. So thank you so much for this opportunity to present this to you. Congratulations on your great effort in running the airport and the asset that it provides our community and region.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Great,
Ted.
thank you.
Thank you. If the board would come down, we'll take a picture in the well down here. Right away.
Item 66, presentation of resolution recognizing Sacramento County Sustainable Business of the Year Award recipients for 2018.
Ms. Livingston, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Board Chair Peters and honorable board members. I'm June Livingston, Permit and Environmental Regulatory Consultant with the Business Environmental Resource Center. As most of you know, it is Burke. We are here today to celebrate National Pollution Prevention Week, September 17th through the 23rd, honoring Burke's 2018 Sustainable Business Award recipients. This is a banner year for Burke. It represents our 25th anniversary. In 1993, the board saw fit and had the vision to create Burke to help businesses that needed help with permit and environmental regulatory compliance. So Burke provides this service in a free and confidential manner. Confidentiality really makes it possible for businesses, when they talk to Burke, to not have to start the conversation with, well, you know, I have this friend. They do not have to do that. They can talk to us about what their concerns are, and we will help them. In addition to compliance assistance, Burke also helps businesses to certify voluntarily those businesses that adopt environmentally friendly practices in the Sacramento region, and it's become the benchmark for achievable sustainable practices. We've certified 540 businesses and awarded 217 businesses since the Sustainable Business Program began in 2007. We could not do this program without the support of our funding partners that are the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District, the Sacramento County Environmental Management Department, Sacramento County Building Permits and Inspection, Sacramento County Department of Water Resources, the Sacramento Municipal Utility District, SMUD, the Sacramento County Sanitation District, Regional SAN, Sacramento Regional Solid Waste Authority, and Sacramento County Planning Environmental Review, and the Sacramento County Airport Systems. This year, the award ceremony will be held at the Golden One Arena in the Grand Plaza. It's a fancy name, but what it really is in the front entrance of the Golden One. It'll be held on Wednesday, September 19th at 8 a.m., and we would like to invite all of you to attend. Please register at eventbrite.com, and the event is free to attend. At this time, I would like to invite Supervisor Peters down to congratulate each winner and to take a photo with the board resolution. So how the program is going to work: each award-winning business and recipient's name will be called. Please come to me to receive your framed resolution. You will have 1 minute to speak, and then take a photo with Supervisor Peters and myself. After all 6 resolutions are presented, a group photo with the board will be taken. Okay, let's start with the award recipients. So first up, in the area of transportation and air quality, we have Taylor's Kitchen and Market. We have Kathy and Danny Johnson that are coming to the podium to receive the award.
And you want them to sit back down? Oh, they're speaking.
ahead
You have a
and
minute?
Need to give advertisement.
Thank you to the board and to Burke for this acknowledgement. We're very proud members of this community, and we will continue to be proud members of this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. In the solid waste reduction category, the winner is Gutter Glove Incorporated. Gutter Glove manufactures finely woven stainless steel micro mesh gutter covers that keep leaves and pine needles and roof sand grit out of our gutters. Oh, I'm sorry. And to accept the award is Angela Lujan. Sorry, Angela.
That's okay.
Good morning. First of all, we'd like to thank the board as well as Burke and the community for honoring us with this resolution.
Thank you. Congratulations.
In the category of energy conservation, the award winner is Datacate. Datacate has worked in conjunction with SMUD to install the first of its kind public data center with cooling infrastructure utilizing innovative Climate Wizard technology for primary air chilling. As a result, Datacate's Rancho Cordova Data Center campus boasts one of the most efficient and economical air-based powder cooling systems in North America. Please, I'd like to welcome Ed LaFrance, who is the Vice President of Business Development and Director of Solutions, Sales and Consulting, Damon Brown.
First off, I'd love to thank Burke and all of the board members for having us and the community for recognizing us. As a technology company, it's super important to us to be able to ensure we're making all of the environmental needs and requirements we do. And through our partnerships with SMUD and our partnerships with the community, we've had the capacity to be able to do it, and our amazing employees have made it happen. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
In the pollution prevention category, the winner is Roxy Restaurant and Bar. They participate in a local Adopt a Drain storm program. They label the storm drains with "Don't dump here" because we don't want it to end up in our rivers. They replace fluorescent lighting with lower mercury-free lighting, and they locally source organic foods and participate in Farm to Fork. Please welcome Roxy Restaurant and Bar owner Terry Gilliland to the podium.
I raced down from the barn this morning to tell my husband that I was leaving, and he's like, "Did you finish your chores? And why are you wearing that sparkly shirt?" And I said, "Well, it's not the Oscars, honey, but we're getting an award this morning, and we're thrilled. And thank you very much. We don't get out much." So I've got the sparkly shirt on, but delighted to be here. Thank you so much.
In the water conservation category, the winner is Veg Cafe. They reuse unused drinking water for toilets. They've installed water-efficient toilets. They use dry surface cleaning methods, followed by a damp mopping instead of hosing down the floors. They encourage mindfulness in using drinking water, and that they utilize a self-service, so you only use what you need. You come get the water you need and not use more than you need. Their food is locally sourced and seasonal, so they do a wonderful job in that. And they use this wonderful air pressure water system for cleaning the patio, and they reuse the excess water for drinking water to use in their plants. Please welcome Suleika Sun Lindley to the podium to accept the award.
Thank you, the board and the Burke. Last time we were here, we got the award from the Waste Management. And this one, 2 years ago when we, California was facing the drought, that's when we're adopting the policy on water by request only. And we found out that people still request a lot of water, but they don't finish that. So instead of wasting the water, we end up using the water for the plants and collecting them for other uses that we didn't need. And thank you for putting the spotlight on these small businesses that doing extra to help with the environment, and we really appreciate it to be here. Thank you.
In the green building category, the winner is Clark Pacific. The team has a pioneering team of talented engineers, craftspeople, and builders committed to developing and producing prefabricated building systems. Some of the projects that are included, and when I took a look at their website, they have done work all over the state of California. So I just wanted to mention a couple of projects that they've done here locally in Sacramento, including the Golden One Arena and its headquarters, the SMUD Customer Service Center, and Terminal B at the Sacramento International Airport. Please join me in welcoming Clark Pacific Director of Human Resources and Environmental Health and Safety, Audra Owens, and Senior Environmental Manager, Richard Maddox, to the podium. Say a few words?
We just want to say thank you very much to the board and to Burke and the community for this wonderful award. Our environmental commitment to protecting our natural resources and preventing pollution is one of our core values at Clark Pacific statewide, and we spend a lot of energy and resources in making that be a reality. We went on this journey many, many years ago, and we have a branded marketing, we call it Clark Pacific EPA, which is Environmental Proaction. And we have had a lot of great success with that vision. It's a journey, not a destination, as we all know, but it's very important that we are champions for the environment. Richard Maddox has been instrumental in that and really has been the champion on the day-to-day operations and making sure that our vision is a reality at Clark Pacific. So thank you very much.
Do you want everybody have photos?
We do. First of all, we'd like to give our award winners one more round of applause. And we'd like to invite everyone to attend the award ceremony on September 19th, as I mentioned, at Golden One. And I wanted to let the audience know that we've been contacted by Congresswoman Doris Matsui. She's in town and plans to give us a few words. Our keynote speaker will be Aaron Rush, Vice President of Operations for the Sacramento Kings. And our MC of the event will be Tina Reynolds of Uptown Studios. Everybody knows Tina. So we would like to conclude this presentation with a photo with all of our award winners. Come to the front, please, with all of the board members. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Item 67, presentation of resolution proclaiming September 2018 as National Food Safety Month.
Ready? Good morning, Chair Peters and board members. My name is Marie Wooden. I'm the interim director for the Environmental Management Department. Joining me this morning is Jason Baitzer. He's our division chief that oversees our food safety program. I want to thank the board for allowing us to present the Award of Excellence, as well as the resolution that declares September as National Food Safety Month. This declaration is very important because it recognizes and brings awareness to the hard work that our food inspectors, as well as the restaurant owners and operators, work in the areas of health and safety in our food program. Thank you very much. And I also want to say that in addition that they work together in minimizing the foodborne illness outbreaks in Sacramento County. We have a record of being lower than the state foodborne outbreak statistics. During the presentation, we will be announcing the winners in each of your districts. We're going to ask you to please step down to the podium to issue the award. And now Jason will go ahead and do the presentation.
Thank you, Marie. Good morning, Chair Peters, members of the board, Jason Baitzer, Environmental Health Division Chief. We'd like to thank the board for their continued support of the Green, Yellow, Red Food Placard Program, which was adopted in Sacramento in 2007. This program has been an effective food safety program that has helped reduce major violations and as Marie mentioned, help reduce foodborne illnesses in Sacramento County. Many other jurisdictions and states have emulated this successful program, which was born in Sacramento County, and so we're proud of that here in EMD. The criteria for the awards of excellence is those facilities that have shown exemplary, consistent record of food safety and have had no major violations in the last 3 inspections and a limited number of minor violations. It's our pleasure today to recognize 5 of the 475 restaurants, markets, schools, and healthcare facilities that are receiving the Food Safety Award of Excellence out of approximately 7,000 food facilities in Sacramento County, and we all realize this growing and important industry within our county. Providing safe food, as Marie mentioned, in Sacramento County is a collaborative effort between EMD and food facility operators. And we recognize it takes a tremendous amount of hard work to operate our food facilities, so we like to commend the owners and staff for their continued efforts to provide safe food to our consumers. At this time, I'd like to recognize a facility from each of Board of Supervisors district. I'll provide a brief introduction and then invite the board member to come down to present the award to each recipient from the district. And so at this time, I invite Supervisor Cerna down, and we recognize Coconut Fish Cafe, located on 16th Street, which originated in Maui, Hawaii, and just realized this morning it's named after the family cat. It is a family-friendly restaurant and home of the famous fish tacos and coconut milk coleslaw, serving excellent food with aloha. The Sacramento facility serves as the training site for all of their franchises throughout the western United States, so I think that's a big honor to have here in Sacramento County. So at this time, I invite Daniel Oni down. Thank you.
Thank you. Picture first? No, let's do some speaking first here. Sure. Okay, so as was just stated, it's certainly my honor to present on behalf of District 1 this morning this Food Safety Award of Excellence for 2017 and 18 to Coconut's Fish Cafe on 16th Street here in Midtown Sacramento. As you can see from the photo, I had the distinct pleasure of actually going there not just to take the photo, but to eat some of your fine food. I highly recommend the poke and the fish tacos.
I'll have to give them a try.
Very, very good. Anyhow, this is an annual tradition here in these chambers to recognize restaurants and other food service provision here in Sacramento County for what is an extremely important part of your business and certainly our business, protecting public health, and that is to make sure that food is served safe, is prepared safe, and it's my distinct pleasure to award you this certificate acknowledging that accomplishment today. So thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly invite you to say a few words.
I'm honored to take this award, or accept this award, on behalf of the entire team at Coconuts, not just myself, Mike, and Stephen, my managers, but the 20-something people who work for me here in Sacramento and at all the locations, because we try and instill in them a certain degree of pride in their work, and that's something that comes through for the customers and the people here in Sacramento and beyond. So thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. We're gonna take a photo. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on to District 2, I invite Supervisor Kennedy down to and invite Red Ribbon Bake Shop, which is this year's recipient in District 2, located off of Mack Road inside the Seafood City Supermarket. This chain, which originated in West Covina in 1984, specializes in delectable baked goods such as cakes, sweets, and pastries. And I didn't realize, I did a little bit of research, but the LA Times has twice voted Red Ribbon's mango cake as the best of LA. So we'd like to thank the staff for their hard work and commitment to food safety here in Sacramento. And at this time, I invite Janina Flores.
Change the slide.
Sorry, thank you.
So I actually had, Jason, thank you for stealing my thunder because I was going to mention the mango cake. The mango roll is actually phenomenal. If you haven't had it, you need to go by. I took one home and it was great. One of the challenges that Red Ribbon actually has is if you've been to the shop, it's actually in another store. So that for food safety presents a whole bunch of different challenges because it's so open. And if you come in there, you will see immediately upon walking in that they take very seriously not only their merchandising and the product, but also their cleanliness. So I want to thank you very much. You're a pillar in our community, and we appreciate it. And I also like to, for the photo, I'd like to have Bill Knowlton join me. He's he's executive director of the Mack Road Partnership, and of which you are a valuable part of that. So thank you very much.
Thank you for giving this award to Red Ribbon, and in behalf of my manager, we will do our best to make it better.
Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
At this time, I invite Chair Peters down to recognize El Camino High School in District 3, home of the Eagles. Their 3 R's are respect, responsibility, and readiness, which is reflected in their commitment to food safety. Management and staff have specific schedules and tasks to focus on food safety principles. They strive to provide outstanding service for the 400 students and staff each day. At this time, I invite Rodney, Monique, and Ingrid down. Thank you.
Well, I haven't had the opportunity to eat in the cafeteria at the high school yet, so I can't comment on that, but you have excellent athletic teams, so you must be feeding them well. So congratulations from the board. Would you like to speak?
Good morning. My name is Monique Stovall. I'm the Director of Nutrition Services at San Juan Unified School District, and I have the honor of working with Ingrid and Rodney. Rodney joined the El Camino team only 3 years ago, and his team of 7 people serve over 400 meals every school day. That includes breakfast and lunch. They make sure that students are ready to learn each school day while making sure that they are in line with very, very strict food safety standards that are set by our Department of Environmental Health and also by our district. So thank you very much for recognizing Rodney and his team.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Keep me those Sorry, get a date to get out for a photo.
Moving on to District 4, Supervisors Frost. This year's recipient is Noodles & Company, and unfortunately we were told right before that they had an emergency at their food facility, so they were going to be unable to attend, and I guess that's the hard challenges with owning and operating a restaurant facility, so we understand that, but still want to recognize the company and their staff for their great work. So this facility is located off of Bidwell in Folsom, and it's a quick service chain offering fresh international noodles and pasta dishes from mac and cheese to pad thai. Noodles & Company is the recipient of several industry awards, such as the 35 hottest healthy restaurants in America. Visiting the facility and talking with staff, we could sense a true team environment, which is a foundation, their commitment to food safety. So we thank Noodles & Company and their team. And at this time, I'll offer Supervisor Frost. You want to say a few words about the facility?
Well, I am honored to speak on behalf of Noodles & Company. When I went into their restaurant, you could almost eat off the floor. It was so clean. And their team was young and bright, and they were so excited to receive this award. And I know they're disappointed that they can't be here, but from afar, if they watch later, I want to congratulate all the team at Noodles & Company and thank you for your commitment to excellence, because all of us like eating safe food. And I also want to thank and commend the Department of Environmental Management for your work. This is a wonderful way to incentivize excellence, and I want to thank you for the way you do that.
Thank you.
Do a picture and send it to them.
This year's recipient for District 5, I invite Supervisor Natoli down, is Rayleigh's, located on Twin Cities Road in Galt. Rayleigh's Supermarket is a privately held, family-owned supermarket chain that operates 121 stores under Rayleigh's, Bel Air Markets, Nob Health Foods, and Food Source names in Northern California and Nevada. The company was founded in 1935 by Thomas Rayleigh in Placerville and employs approximately 12,000 workers. Visiting the site, management mentioned that the long-term employees is the key to their success and to food safety, so we appreciate that. And at this time, I invite Hector Saldana, the manager, to come down to receive the award. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Let me say just quickly, we'll get a picture in just a moment, that well familiar with the Rayleigh store in Galt, and when I wanted to say that when they were first opened the community, we were welcomed in with open arms, and certainly Hector and his team at Rayleigh's, those that have preceded him, but certainly his current team, worked very hard to provide quality foodstuffs of all nature and type, fresh foods as well as prepared foods. And I know the morning I was there, they were scrambling around. Just getting that number of folks together for the picture was a bit of a challenge, because they're obviously busy with their task and doing what they do every day to make sure that they receive the recognition that they receive here today, but also that they continue to provide the quality that's expected by their customers, and that they were, as Jason said a moment ago, certainly are well known for in this region. So I'm pleased to join with my colleagues, certainly with the Environmental Management Department. I appreciate all their work, and certainly working with our restaurants, our food preparers, and certainly our grocery stores and others in this community, assure safe and clean facilities, but also that people can enjoy quality experiences wherever they might go in the Sacramento County region. So with that, Hector, you want to come forward and say any words, and then we'll take a quick picture here. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to take this time on behalf of my team and my company to thank the board. Thank you, Mr. Natoli. Thank you, Mrs. McCoy. Appreciate all this. They work hard every day, and this is exciting to bring back to them to show them all their hard efforts. So thank you.
Great. Congrats.
Thanks, Andrew. Take care. Thanks, Bree. Thanks, Bree. Thanks, Bree. Thanks, Jason.
So again, congratulations to the 475 Food Safety Award winners, and on behalf of the department, we would just like to thank all food facilities in Sacramento County for their continued dedication to providing safe food for all of us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Item number 68, you are acting as the Sacramento Housing Authority of County of Sacramento. This is the Twin Rivers Transit-Oriented Development and Light Rail Station Project. Approval to request bid proposals for infrastructure construction and enter into contracts. Amendment of the Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant Budget for Housing and Pre-Development. Related loan agreements.
Good morning. My name is Bern Wickhammer. I'm a program manager in the Development Department of the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency. The Twin Rivers Transit-Oriented Development and Light Rail Station item before you has been submitted for approval consideration in your capacity as the Board of the Housing Authority of the County of Sacramento, which for the remainder of my presentation I will refer to as HACOS. The recommended actions represent the next steps in moving the Twin Rivers project closer to the point where new housing construction can finally begin. As owner of the Twin Rivers project and lead recipient of the $30 million Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant, HACOS is requesting authorization for the Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Agency as the previously approved project manager to issue bid proposals on its behalf for the demolition of existing public improvements and the related construction of all new infrastructure for the project. As contemplated in the previously approved master development agreement between McCormick Barron Salazar as master developer and HACOS as property owner and CNI grant recipient, construction of new infrastructure is one of the three main responsibilities of HACOS in the Twin Rivers Transformation Project. The other two being relocation of existing residents and demolition of existing buildings. At this time, I actually have an overhead. Do we have the ability to, if it's all right with the board, to Thank you. It was not part of your package because it's fresh off the press. It's brand new information and current as of yesterday. Thank you. As can be seen on this overhead, the first phase of relocation and demolition is now complete. The dotted line delineates the two phases of relocation and demolition at Twin Rivers. The boxes in blue are buildings that have been demolished to date. The boxes in yellow are vacated units, and those in red are still occupied at this time. As you can see, there's been substantial progress made at the project so far. The second phase of relocation officially began June 7th and is anticipated to be complete by November of this year. With phase 1 of relocation and demolition now complete, phase 2 of relocation well underway, with resources of infrastructure financing now in place, and with phased infrastructure plans approximately 95% complete, it is time to procure a contractor to bid and ultimately do the infrastructure work. Given the extensive experience of SHRA construction management staff in managing public improvement, infrastructure, and large dollar multifamily construction contracts, this report requests approval for SHRA to not only manage the infrastructure procurement process, but also manage the infrastructure construction process as well. As SHRA Construction Management has successfully done to date with the demolition process currently underway, it is anticipated that HACOS will save up to $2 million in administrative, legal, overhead, and other construction costs it would otherwise have to pay to an unrelated third party to bid and manage the process on its behalf. In addition to the infrastructure, the report before you requests approval to allocate a portion of the CNI grant funds to utilize for specific needs of the project. including up to $1.9 million for the remaining Phase 1 housing pre-development costs, a total of $7 million, which includes pre-development funds, to assist with financing Phase 1 new housing construction, and up to $3.8 million to fund the remaining Phase 2 housing pre-development costs. A total of $4.5 million of developer funds has been spent to date on pre-development activities. But as multiple phases of housing and other major project activities are now all moving forward at close to the same time, additional funds are needed to keep the housing phases on track as well. HACOS is being asked to approve using C&I funds through the pre-development loan agreements to the tax credit partnerships for the first two phases of housing to ensure each will be able to close as quickly as possible and without unnecessary delay. This will also better align the start of new housing construction with completion of the new infrastructure needed to support it. This concludes my presentation. Executive members of SHRA, Dan Falcone from McCormick Baron Salazar, and key members of the development team are available to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Okay, thank you for your report. Are there any questions on this project? I had one. I noticed that you had trouble on grant funding. It got turned down a number of times. Did you get any response back as to why the application was lacking or what caused the...
Yes. We actually, as I recall, I think it's in the staff report, but as I recall, I think we applied to at least 3, possibly 4 different competitive sources of financing for the project. And unfortunately, to date, we've been unsuccessful in all 4 of those attempts. Each of those attempts, after notification of not receiving the grant, there is a debriefing meeting or conference call held with the provider of the funds to let us know where we might improve for the next round. And so for 2 of those 4 sources of funds, including the AHSC, Affordable Housing Sustainable Communities Fund, our loan program, and the Climate Community, thank you, grant, we've learned our lessons and are reapplying actually as we speak. Right now we're going in through the process of polishing up our previous applications and addressing those areas where we fell short. And we think we have a much stronger chance this time around, and actually are very hopeful that specifically for the TCC grant that we'll be successful in this round and able to actually fund the light rail station project from that source.
And if you are successful, then those monies would replace the loans you have secured?
It's a little bit confusing because we have various sources of funds being allocated to various phases of the project. TCC funds, there would be a portion of it would go to Phase 1 housing, which would then reduce the need from other sources that we already have in place. For instance, potentially the C&I funds or gap financing and other sources. So yeah, to answer your question directly, yes, that is the plan. For instance, we have secured a Section 108 loan from HUD to finance our infrastructure construction up to $16.49 million. But between now and the time we actually need the funds, if we're able to secure other sources, we'll use those instead. So we're sort of doing the best we can as applications roll through. We're definitely leaving no stone unturned and making sure that if we are successful, we have a purpose for those funds as well.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't see any more questions from the board. Is there a motion?
Move the item.
Please vote.
Thank you.
Unanimous vote. Item 69, authorize the Director of Airports to negotiate and execute retail, kiosk, and specialty coffee concession agreements at Sacramento International Airport.
Is Donna Scranton here going to give the report, or?
Yes.
What's the plan? Mr. Executive?
Madam Chair, we do have a request to continue this item until October 16th, but I also know from the clerk's office that there are members of the public that are here that want to address this item. What I would suggest is that we can give you a brief presentation what the item is, hear the public input, and at that point the board can deliberate about the extension request that we have.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Donna Scranton, and I'm the manager of Properties and Business Development for the Sacramento County Department of Airports. How do you advance it?
Hang on one second. Let me just make sure they have your...
I'm here today to present the recommendation to authorize the Director of Airports to execute retail concession agreements with Marshall Retail Group and Parodies Lagardère for the available retail spaces in Terminals A and B at Sacramento International Airport. In March, we issued an RFP to solicit proposals from interested parties, and we identified specific goals for the RFP. We want a mix of local, regional, and national market presence. The concession program should create a sense of place reflective of the Sacramento region and also create a customer-focused experience, which is in line with the department's mission. In an effort to increase revenues to the county, the overall program should maximize sales through competition and integrate technology whenever possible. And these goals were reinforced at the pre-proposal meeting and on the tour. There are 12 available inline retail locations, 4 in Terminal A and 8 in Terminal B, and we grouped those spaces in 4 packages of space. We offered 6 kiosk locations, 2 in Terminal A and 4 in Terminal B, and these kiosks were available as individual opportunities. To ensure appropriate product mix in the terminals, the RFP allowed the department the flexibility to move locations of proposed concepts. Proposers were allowed to propose the percentage rent for each concept based on a specified range. For airside convenience stores, the range was 13 to 16% and 10 to 15% for airside specialty retail. For landside convenience stores, the range was 12 to 15%, 10 to 15% for specialty retail, and 12 to 15% for the convenience and specialty coffee. The minimum facility build-out investment is $300 per square foot for inline spaces and $230 for kiosks. Also, lower level space, support space is $39.20 per square foot per year, and that rate is adjusted annually by CPI. So some key dates for the RFP. We issued the RFP on March 29th. We had a pre-proposal conference and tour on April 12th. We issued 3 addenda to the RFP. On April 27th, addendum number 1 was issued to answer questions from proposers. Addendum number 2 was issued on May 10th to include worker retention requirements. And addendum number 3 extended the deadline to June 14th. By the deadline, we received proposals from 6 companies: Bay Area Hospitality, Hudson, M5 Partners, Marshall Retail Group, PGC, and Parodies. We assembled a 4-member committee that was comprised of a representative from SFO Concessions, a marketing and advertising consultant, and representatives from airports, properties, and planning and environment sections. Each proposal was evaluated based on the evaluation factors specified in the RFP, up to a total of 100 points. Brand and concept was weighted the highest with 30 available points. Capital investment and design and financial criteria were worth 20 points each. Experience and quality of past performance and management and operations plan were worth 15 points each. So this is the summary of the scoring for each of the packages and kiosks. I will describe in detail the recommended concepts and their locations in the terminals a little bit later. Marshall received the highest total score from the panel for package 1 in Terminal A, and Parodies received the highest scores for packages 2, 3, and 4 in Terminal B. For kiosks 1 and 2 in Terminal A, Parodies received the highest scores from the panel, but the panel felt the design of the kiosks and the concepts would be a better fit in Terminal B. Marshall's To Me Luggage and Travel Well were the other concepts proposed for the Terminal A kiosks. And the panel determined Marshall's proposed concept for kiosk 3, Bagalini, together with the Travel Well kiosk, better match the passenger demographic and overall product mix in Terminal A. So moving down to kiosk 3, Sidewalk Juice concept received the highest points for that kiosk in Terminal B. However, the decibel level of the juicers and blenders was determined to be too high for that location on the west end of the terminal. Therefore, Parodies Janie Cakes was recommended for kiosk 3. PGC's newsstand concept had the highest score for Kiosk 4. However, this proposal was contingent on PGC winning Package 2. Therefore, the panel recommended Parady's Farm to Fork to Flight Express for that location.
If you could pause there a moment, Mr. Cerna.
Thank you. So, Donna, I noted that earlier in your presentation you had mentioned that there was a concerted effort to, I guess, mix national branding and local brands. So I'm curious on the chart there where it says Kiosk 3 Terminal B, you have, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Blue Diamond Almonds the only local brand there that scored lowest? For
Kiosk 3?
Yeah, in Terminal B.
It's the only brand that scored the lowest? Is that what you asked?
Is that the only local brand and it scored lowest, correct?
Sure, yes.
Okay, just want to make that clear. Thanks.
Okay, continue. So the committee recommended Package 1 and Kiosks 1 and 2 be awarded to Marshall Retail Group. Package 1 includes The Well, a modern airport convenience store that offers organic grab-and-go snacks, customary convenience products such as magazines and travel essentials, but will also include an innovative sustainability initiative, a filtered and flavored water bottle refill station. This will be a focal point in the store. Also in Package 1 is At Ease, an athleisure apparel store and Pop Socks, a fun, novelty, and themed sock store. Kiosk 1 and 2 are just outside of the food court seating area in Terminal A. Bagalini, as I mentioned earlier, is recommended for Kiosk 1, offering lightweight bags and purses designed for the busy traveler. And Kiosk 2 is Travelwell, a wellness kiosk with grab-and-go travel kits and other unique travel necessities. Excuse me. Based on the proposed percentages, the projected annual rent from Marshall for year 1 is $1.3 million paid to the county. The committee also recommended that Parady's be awarded Packages 2, 3, and 4, and Kiosks 3 and 4 in Terminal B. The proposed concepts for Kiosks 5 and 6 showed a net loss every year of the agreement, and the panel decided it was not in the airport's or concessionaire's best interest, so they did not score or recommend award of these kiosks.
Pause for a moment.
Yeah, can you just explain that last part? Can you explain that?
Why don't you back up the slide?
Yeah.
So kiosks 5 and 6 were proposed for the landside locations, which are pre-security and away from the APM. And the proposed concepts were sunglasses and another retail item, specialty retail item. And those, when they submit their pro formas, it showed a net loss every year. And I think the attempt was to try to provide the customer service while still having a loss each year. And the panel did not feel that it was necessary at this time to have those kiosks filled.
Okay, thank you.
Sacktown Magazine Market is recommended for Package 2's convenience location in Terminal B. This store will offer travel essentials, grab-and-go snacks, and products from local vendors. It will also include an interactive Sacktown Magazine digital display. The specialty retail store, No Boundaries, is recommended for the east side of the terminal. Products include popular athleisure, activewear, and apparel. Package 3 includes stores both airside and landside in Terminal B. The Doco Market is recommended for the airside convenience location and will offer local gifts and regional gourmet items, souvenirs, and travel essentials, as well as an interactive passenger experience. Also in Package 3 is Brighton Jewelry and In Motion Electronics, and these concepts have a proven track record at SMF and will complement the Terminal B concession program. There are 2 landside locations in this package that I will discuss on the next slide. Kiosk 3 on the west side of the terminal will provide a much-needed dessert concept. Janie Cakes is a local bakery that will offer unique custom cakes and desserts. Kiosk 4 is a Farm to Fork to Flight Express on the opposite side of the terminal from Janie Cakes. This kiosk will offer healthy grab-and-go items and snacks, and both kiosks will provide coffee, which will alleviate the morning coffee rush in that terminal. And that's our #1 customer complaint. The landside locations in Package 3 will offer the Gallery, a for-sale art gallery featuring local artists, and Farm to Fork to Flight Market with a lounge for customers and meeters and greeters. This store will offer California's fresh and ready products, grab-and-go foods, and convenience items. Package 4 in Baggage Claim Terminal B is a Sacramento-based coffee roaster, Chocolate Fish Coffee Roasters. This store will have a cafe menu matching the quality of the street side location and will also offer travel essentials and convenience items. Based on the proposed percentages, the rent for year 1, the projected rent for year 1 from Parodies will be $2.1 million paid to the county.
Could you just pause on that slide for a moment so we can read through the vendors?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
We believe the recommended concepts proposed for all of the kiosks and packages meet the goals of the RFP and truly give our passengers a unique experience in the terminals. A highlight of some of the agreement terms with Marshall and Parodies. The spaces will be released to the concessionaires January 15th for an approximate 6-month build-out. The term of the agreements are 7 years from the date of beneficial occupancy, and both agreements have worker retention and labor peace requirements. So the next steps is that we will finalize the agreements with Marshall and Parodies, and then we will begin the design and review process. Any questions?
Any more questions, Mr. Cerna?
Yeah, I noted that the one of your slides had a list of who the various agents were that participated in your selection process.
Yes.
What I didn't see there was that you had, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you had invited a representative from Visit Sacramento.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they didn't participate?
Right. At the last minute, right before we were about to distribute the proposals, there was a scheduling conflict with that representative, and she was no longer able to participate.
So we had no one representing tourism from Sacramento on the selection board?
Not from Visit Sacramento, no.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kennedy?
I don't have so much of a question, but I do want to commend staff. This was a little different than usual, and I think in a good way, as far as encouraging local, encouraging Sacramento-centric experience at the airport, even though it didn't work out that way, including Visit Sacramento on the panel. I commend staff for that. I think that this is the direction that I'd like to see the airport to continue to go in, is being something that links with tourism and links with Sacramento and isn't just a place where people, embark and disembark planes. So I just wanted to say well done on that respect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Frost?
I have a question relating to the process in the bidding on each of the terminals and the kiosks. When you put the RFP out and you're asking for people to bid, they were bidding on specific locations. Were they bidding on specific locations, or were they bidding on any location they could fit into? In the beginning of your presentation, it sounded like people were bidding on specific kiosk locations.
Yes. So the packages were grouped into, there were specific locations in each package. So in Terminal A, there were 4 inline retail locations and 2 kiosks, and those spaces were specified, as it were in Terminal B.
And so when they bid on those locations, then in your staff report, you went on to explain that there were some that you felt would fit better in another place, and so you asked them to update their application to another kiosk.
Correct. We identified the kiosks that we wanted to switch to another terminal, and then we asked the proposers if they would be agreeable to that change, and they were agreeable to that.
You asked only those specific proposers or everybody who was bidding for the job? Because for some of the people that were bidding for the job, there was that sense that they scored highest on that RFP, and then there was some inconsistency in the RFP process and the protocol of how that should have worked.
Okay, so the panel looked at everything, all of the proposed concepts for the inline spaces and the kiosks. And based on the proposals, specifically for Terminal A, kiosks 1 and 2, the proposal was for a farm to fork to flight express, and that, the location of that kiosk didn't make sense for the Terminal A food court. And also the design of the kiosks were a little bit high and obstructing the view in Terminal A. So they discussed moving it over to Terminal B, which is it has a lot higher ceilings, and the kiosks just fit there.
So I guess my question goes to procedure. Is it, when you put something out for an RFP and people bid on it, can you just make adjustments in the middle of it, or do you have to only consider those who applied for that one RFP in that?
So the RFP gave us the flexibility. Or do you need to cancel
that and go out for a new RFP so that everybody has a chance to compete under the same circumstance?
So the RFP gave us the ability to move locations based on what was proposed and what the panel and department determined was the best product mix for each terminal. So we had the ability already in the RFP.
Okay.
And that was discussed at the pre-proposal meeting as well. We advised everybody that we had that flexibility.
And all the applicants knew that as well?
It was in the RFP, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Stand by. I've got a number of speakers. If you wish to speak on this issue, please get your request to speak in. The first speaker is Roderick McOwen.
Good morning, Board Chair Peters and honourable members of the Board. Excellent pronunciation of my name, by the way. Thank you very much. It's always a bit of a challenge with a Scottish name and a Scottish accent.
I know. My married name is McEwen, and it's spelled about 50 different ways and pronounced that many ways too, so I was working on it.
Indeed. Thank you. I'm the Chief Development Officer of the Marshall Retail Group, based in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're the largest independent US-owned retailer in the travel retail sector. We bring innovation and creativity to the market, and with a very strong focus on local product and local representation. I'm here today actually with our proposed ACDBE minority partner, Ms. Desiree Rodriguez. This would be her first airport opportunity. She has an excellent concept in Travel Well, which also features a significant amount of local product, so the board should have no problem in wondering whether or not local product or local representation will take place here. We're very excited to get started in Terminal A, should it be approved, in January 15th, 2019, not very far away. And we clearly have no problems whatsoever in local worker retention and labour peace. That's something that we're well used to across the country. It's our normal modus operandi. And we look forward to working with Ms. Nicol and her team in a positive partnership approach. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Patrick Wallace.
Good morning, Supervisors. Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. You know, we do business in 90 airports across the country, and rarely do I get an opportunity to address a Board of Supervisors, so this is fantastic.
You're
so
lucky.
Thank you for that.
What firm do you represent?
I am with Paradis Lagardère. I am the Vice President of Business Development, and I was the project lead on this particular RFP. So I thank you, and I really want to thank Donna and Allison too, because I'll be honest with you, I have replied to dozens and dozens of RFPs over the years, and this one was extremely fair and comprehensive. To Supervisor Frost's question, we understood exactly what was being asked and exactly how the puzzle pieces might play out to work best with one another depending on each decision made throughout the process. So again, very fair and equitable, and we appreciate that. I also think it gave us a great opportunity to bring newness in local brands. We currently operate at the airport. We've operated there for 20 years. We have a fantastic local team. We've got a great local partner, Donna Tiosh, who is here today. But we were able to bring new concepts and newness with Downtown Commons and Sacktown Magazine and Janie Cakes and Alley Studio, which will be a part of Downtown Commons, and then a local coffee roaster. So we're very happy and very proud of that. I understand there's a push for a continuance, but with as much might as I can muster here, I would petition you not to do so, only because this process was extremely fair. In their wisdom, the people in concessions put ranges out there. They controlled the wild and crazy bidding that can sometimes happen. It was a very fair and equitable process. We can kick the can down the road, or we can take the principals who are here today from the players, and we can make a decision. And I implore, the Board of Supervisors, let's not put off to tomorrow what we can accomplish today. We're here today, let's accomplish it today. And with that, I would also welcome Cindy. Congratulations and welcome, and thank you all very much for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. John Lambeth?
Well, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. John Lambeth here on behalf of Paradies Lagardère. In addition to Patrick and myself, we also have Michelle Smyra from MS Strategies here and several other Paradies representatives. This is the same team that brought you much of the successful retail 7 years ago when we went through this process with Paradies. And that success we've all seen in both terminals A and B. Paradies is proud to be a high-quality, innovative leader when it comes to airport retail. As you heard, they have over 850 stores in 90 airports across North America. And it's worth mentioning that Airport Reserve News has named Paradies the best overall retailer for 22 consecutive years. Every year that they've had that award, Paradies has won it. I also wanted to say thank you to staff. They have been diligent and professional in their work on this. They have carefully crafted that 149-page RFP that laid out in specific detail what was expected of each of the applicants, and they were quite helpful in answering questions at the pre-proposal meeting. As was mentioned before, it was emphasized both in the RFP and the pre-proposal meeting that it was the desire to have a mix of retail, both national and local, and that's exactly what Paradies put forward. It actually was our local that ended up winning the day. As was mentioned, we have a Sacktown and Doco store, and we have our local coffee roaster, Chocolate Fish, who's got a store as well on landside. And in addition, I wanted to mention, we're going to be featuring products from Alley Studio from Elmhurst, Per Chocolate from North Highlands, Hen House from Wilton, and products from local artist Tim Cullen, as well as Janie Cakes from Carmichael. So we're proud of that. And you may have noticed also one of the stores that we proposed was the Farm to Fork to Flight store. That took a lot of work to come up with that, but we're very proud of our Farm to Fork heritage here in Sacramento, and we wanted to take advantage of that. We know of no reason why the board cannot act on this today. This has been a clean process, a fair process, and we would encourage you to move forward on authorizing the negotiation of the contracts.
Thank you, Mr. Lambeth. Rebecca Rietenauer? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Rebecca Reitnauer, and I'm a server and have worked at the Esquire Grill at the Sacramento airport for about 5 years now. I enjoy working for the airport, greeting visitors to our city and county, and making sure they have a good first or last impression as they come or may be leaving. My coworkers and I really are the face of Sacramento. When people visit our county, we have good and stable jobs that allow me to support my 2 kids as my husband's overseas serving our country. We have good and stable jobs, and I want to thank the county for taking the steps to make sure that there is labor peace at the airport. Many of the retail workers wanted to be here today, and unfortunately they are working at the airport. On their behalf, thank you for taking the steps to ensure labor peace with the recommended companies for their new retail bid. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Rack.
Good morning, members of the board. Thanks for the opportunity to speak. My name is Chris Rack. I'm the president of Unite Here Local 49. We represent 300 members at the Sacramento Airport, including 75 current employees in retail. I want to echo Rebecca's comments and share my appreciation with the county for ensuring labor peace at the airport. When companies change, it causes a lot of stress for the employees, and many of our members at Parities are very relieved to know that their company will be staying as part of this new package. We've got a good working relationship with Parities, and we're glad to see they will continue to serve the guests to our county. And since Parities is proposed for Terminal B, most of our current Parities members will be able to remain at the airport and won't even have to change employers. It's also good to know that Marshall Retail Group is required to commit to labor peace as part of their agreement with the county, and we look forward to a positive dialogue with them soon. I did want to advise you of one issue with the retail agreements relating to worker retention. New operators are required as part of this requirement to offer jobs in similar positions to workers who are in good standing with the current operators. Of course, we support worker retention, but part of the current good standing definition is no discipline within the last 12 months. Workers with years of service and only a minor infraction that results in a warning could lose their jobs based on that language. Dozens of workers at Parities and Pacific Gateway could be impacted by this. We asked the county to amend the good standing definition to cover anyone who has not received a final warning or suspension in the last 12 months. We would hate to see good employees left out when they have an overall positive track record. They're not causing this operator change and shouldn't lose their jobs based on a worker retention loophole. We would feel more comfortable with staff's recommendation for the retail bid with that one change. However, again, I want to reiterate, we're very pleased to see the labor piece and the worker retention as it is. We think it just could use one minor tweak to not leave people behind. We also fully support the bid by Manchester Airport Group to operate the airport lounges. Thanks for your consideration and your ongoing support of labor peace. Take care.
Thank you. Donna Tielsch.
Hi, my name is Donna Tilsch. I am the local partner, the ACDBE partner with Parities Lagardère. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's Airport Concessions Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. I'm a homeowner here in Sacramento. I'm also a longtime business owner. So my original store, Visions of Eden, we opened in 1997, and we are still in that original location. And so, yes, that's been 21 years. Clearly, I opened that store when I was 8. I also have a dance studio, Tango by the River, which I opened in 2000. So I am heavily invested in Sacramento, both as a homeowner and as a business owner. And as such, I urge the board to accept the Sacramento Airport's recommendation for Parities Lagardère. Frankly, Parities is a fantastic company to be a part of. And I do believe that not only is this package the best for me, for this local stakeholder, but also the best for the airport. And so I urge you to accept it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for preparing me for my trip to Buenos Aires, by the way.
Absolutely. Not sure what that was, but I can hardly wait to find out. Okay, any further comments by staff?
If you can address the discipline issue, you did look into it?
Certainly, we had the opportunity to review the language that Mr. Rack referred to in terms of modification of the definition of good standing with the current retailer. And from a staff perspective, we have no problem. We could certainly accept the modified language with the approval of the board. And essentially, that would be a definition that said an employee, and again, this is an employee who is currently with a concessionaire who could potentially be losing their job as a result of any turnover with the companies. The definition would state that an employee must be in good standing with the current retail concessionaire with no final warning or suspension for the previous 12 months. That language we would certainly support being incorporated in the agreement for employee retention.
Does that need an agreement from the vendor?
Yes, we've also asked the two vendors that are being recommended to you today, and they've both agreed that that language would be acceptable.
Okay. Did they wish, Mr. Wallace, did you make any comment? Are you?
I'm in full support of the language change.
Good, thank you. Okay. I don't see any further questions. Except for Ms. Frost. Go ahead.
Was that the reason the item was continued?
No, ma'am. We got some further feedback that there's some questions that the firms that are not being recommended, that they had some more clarification they need. Based on that, our practice has been is that folks do ask us. I will make the recommendation known to the board to continue. Again, it's your decision to make which way you want to go, but I felt an obligation to let the board know that the other side did have some questions, and they questions are outstanding on it. I don't know the nature of all the questions, but that was what I found out late yesterday.
But they didn't come forward to ask us the questions in this meeting. Mr. Cerna?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask the county CEO, Mr. Leonard, what's the sense of urgency on this? How much time do we have before the existing contracts expire?
Rob?
The existing contracts run through the end of October, as I recall, and it's important to get the clock started essentially for the transition of the space, because there is significant capital improvement and sequencing associated with the repurposing of the space and the conversion to the new concepts. The schedule that was put together reflects that, and so therefore there's a position from staff to begin that process as soon as practical.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy?
No.
Oh, he withdrew his question. So here we are. I think everyone had a chance to read a 169-page RFP months ago, and we didn't hear any questions from whomever the opponent is today, so I would move staff recommendation, including the modification from airport staff. Please vote.
I'm sorry. You were moving staff's recommendation to continue the item?
No. Staff's recommendation in the staff report to approve this staff report.
Can we do this one more time? I'm sorry. Please vote.
I would have preferred to continue the item.
So vote no.
As per staff's recommendation.
No, that was not a staff recommendation. That was a request from one of the applicants.
No, ma'am. I just want recommendations. What's in the staff report? What I got was information late yesterday that there was a desire by folks that didn't win this RFP to continue the item, and I brought that forward to the board that that's an option that you have today.
I thought you were recommending it, that you were recommending.
No, I stand behind the recommendation that airports made on it. What I was introducing is that there's some questions that the other side has. I want you to be aware of that. Our tradition is that if somebody does ask us that, I do present that to you and say that's an option that you have to continue the item. But typically when we continue items, there's not a whole lot of testimony that we go through, and that's up to the board what to do at that point.
And we don't have anyone who wants to speak on this item?
As I said twice, there's no one has signed up to speak on this against it.
I'll go ahead and support it.
And the motion carries with those members present.
Okay, thank you all for coming in today. I do have an off-agenda speaker, if he's still here. Mr. Gale? Did he leave? I don't know who, oh, thank you. I didn't know who was speaking. Okay, he has gone. We gonna go to our nominations?
Yes. That would be item number 72. Will Mr. Natoli be coming back?
He's going to be back at 2 p.m. for the afternoon session.
Okay, could we get through, he doesn't, he's only got Veterans Advisory Commission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Item 72 for your nominations. You are continuing to September 25th, Mission Oaks Recreation and Park District, Sacramento County Youth Commission. Continuing to October 30th, Carmichael Old Foothill Farms Community Planning Advisory Council, Cemetery Advisory Commission, the Cosumnes Area Community Planning Advisory Council, County Service Area 4B Slough House Wilton Cosumnes, County Service Area 4C Delta, Delta Citizens Municipal Advisory Council, Human Services Coordinating Council, Maternal Child and Adolescent Health Advisory Board, Natomas Community Planning Advisory Council, Paratransit Inc., and Southeast Area Community Planning Advisory Council. For your matters today, the Arden Arcade Community Planning Advisory Council.
I'd like to nominate Damian Schiff and request the process be waived. Please vote.
Unanimous vote with those members present. Area 4 Agency on Aging Advisory Council.
Chiefs recommend reappointing Lola Young as the Sacramento County appointee.
Assessment Appeals Board.
Chiefs recommend reappointing Thomas Kerr, Maurice Thomas, and Gordon Egan to the Assessment Appeals Board.
Children's Coalition.
Chiefs recommend Michelle Wallner as the education seat and continue the remainder to September 25th.
Cordova Community Planning Advisory Council.
District 3 continue to October 30th.
And District 4. I have a note that we're going to continue to October 30th and that your district is okay with that. I also have a note for District 5 that they were planning to nominate Terry Leimbach.
Okay.
And then to continue the remainder to October 30th. We already have that. In-Home Supportive Services Advisory Committee.
Chiefs recommend Lynn Humphreys to the public seat and reappoint Deborah Hibbler to the provider seat and continue the remainder to September 25th.
North Highlands Foothill Farms Community Planning Advisory Council.
Continue to October 16th.
And are you okay with that, Supervisor Frost? Okay. Public Health Advisory Board.
Continue to October 16th.
And Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Commission.
District 1 is nominating Cecile Nunley. And I'd like to waive the process.
Okay.
Second.
Please vote.
Unanimous vote with those members present. Supervisor Kennedy?
Continue to October 30th.
Okay. And then I do not have notes for the Veterans Advisory Commission.
Continue that to our next meeting then.
Okay.
The 25th.
Got it. And I do want to make a note on record that the filing period has been closed for that.
Okay.
That concludes your nominations.
Okay, is there anything else that we need to do this morning?
No, that concludes your morning business.
Okay, so we have closed session.
Yes, we do.
Is everybody ready for 11 o'clock?
Yeah, Rob Javon is at a mediation on the lunch. I just texted him to come over. But
Okay.
we can get started on the first one.
Okay, well, stroll slowly to the conference room. Okay, thank you. We're recessed until 2.